You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. I'm Allison Boyle, aka She Dreams of Alpine, and this is the show that's dedicated to all the adventurous spirits out there who have either been transformed by the outdoors or are interested in what it looks like to step into a new, adventurous, and courageous kind of identity in their life. It doesn't matter what your background is in the outdoors, what age you're starting at, or where you grew up. If you're curious about the outdoors and using adventure as a way to reinvent yourself, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing all kinds of personal adventure stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, teaching what I know about the outdoors and leadership, and interviewing some amazing adventurous women all along the way. I've been coaching women on becoming safe, confident, and self-sufficient backpackers and leaders of their own adventurous lives since 2018, and I know exactly what big fears and self-doubts can pop up along the way. I have so much to share with you, so let's dive in. Hello, my friends. I wanted to give you a quick heads up before we get into today's episode. Our Backpacking Badass Black Friday event is just around the corner. It's happening November 17th through the 21st, so make sure to mark your calendars. And this year, this event is going to be more epic than ever. Now, this isn't just another Black Friday sale. This is actually your moment to lock in your 2026 adventure era. And if you found yourself in 2025 just thinking about adventure, but not really getting out there and just finding yourself at the end of this year being like, okay, I didn't get to do the things that I wanted to do. Let's make sure that 2026 is the year that you commit to it and you make it your most adventurous chapter yet. Okay? So join me and my team in a community of over 1,900 women inside of the Backpacking Badass program, which is my signature backpacking course for women, where we teach you how to become a safe, confident, and totally self-sufficient backpacker. And this event is going to be your biggest opportunity to do that at some of our best deals and bonuses that we offer all year. And here's the best part. We just opened our early bird waitlist for that Black Friday event. So you can join our waitlist at shedreamsofalpine.com/bird. I will also have that linked in the show notes. But basically, the reason you want to join that early bird waitlist is that early birds get more. So early birds get a 2-hour head start on joining the program before it opens to the public, which means you get first dibs on limited gifts, exclusive bonuses, and I will also be sending all of you who sign up for our early bird waitlist a sneak peek guide that shows you all of the juicy prizes and daily bonuses that we are going to be revealing during our Black Friday event. So essentially, this is your chance to lock in on your adventure goals now at some of our best deals and bonuses, again, that we offer all year, and then just rest easy going into the holidays, knowing that you will have the tools, the coaching, and the community to really kickstart, hit the ground running when 2026 begins in having your most adventurous chapter yet. Okay, so if you've been waiting for the perfect time to finally say yes to your adventure goals, to your backpacking goals, this is it, my friend. All right, the early bird waitlist is totally free, and when you sign up, I will also again instantly send you that sneak peek guide with all of the Black Friday details so you can prepare and feel really organized ahead of time. Again, you can sign up at shedreamsofalpine.com/bird, and don't miss this one, y'all. It is our biggest week of the year, and I cannot wait to see you inside of that program. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Hello. You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. This is a very special trail series episode again. So I've done a few series like this in the past. I've done one for the JMT and the Royal Arch Loop. And this time you're getting to hear a behind the scenes of my West Highland Way through hike. So if you haven't heard of the West Highland Way through hike, it's in Scotland. It's roughly 100 miles long. It's about 96 miles total. And you start typically in Milngavie, which is just outside of Glasgow, and it ends in Fort Williams at the foot of Ben Nevis. So this is Scotland's really classic through hike. It typically takes people around 6 to 11 days to complete it. And I planned my trip in 8 days. That kept most of the mileage around the 9 to 15 mile a day range, which was just perfect what I wanted to do. If you listen to one of my prior episodes about this trip, It ended up being, it was originally going to be a girls' trip with two of my best friends, but it kind of got a little bit plot twisted, and it ended up being one of my friends dropped out completely and one only could do half the trip. So half of this trip I did with my best friend Ashima, and then half of this trip I did solo. So you are going to get to hear the behind the scenes of each day on the trail, like after the trail, and all the things that we did during the days through the through hike, and getting to hear the behind the scenes of all the things. So if this trail has ever interested you, or you're just curious what it would be like to hike a trail like this, or go to Scotland, or do an international through hike trip like this, then this will be a great episode for you to listen in on. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, let's dive in. All right. Hello. Welcome back to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. Today was day 7 of my West Highland Way hike. That means it was my second to last day. I'm starting to feel, you know how when you're at the beginning of a trip, you're like, I have so many more days, and they're kind of just like, you're in the moment, they're going by. And I feel like it's not till like the last 2 or 3 days it starts to really hit you. Like in a blink of an eye, it's going to all be over. And so I've been, I don't know, really thinking about that tonight. I'm like, wow, it went by so fast. And I just have one more day, and tomorrow is long. So part of my brain is like, oh my gosh, tomorrow is going to be long. And it's like not dreading it, because it's not like horrible. It's 15 miles, but it's already thinking like, okay, what's our plan? But then the other part of me is like, I just really want to savor it and enjoy those last 15 miles on the West Highland Way. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So today was day 7. I woke up I had looked at the weather last night, and it was actually supposed to be much nicer today than it has been like all week. It's been a pretty rainy West Highland Way, like Storm Amy, some plot twists, all the things for my particular West Highland Way experience. But it looked a little bit drier in the forecast. So I decided, since today was only 9 miles, that I would sleep in a little bit, get breakfast. And I did, the hotel checkout was 11. So I think I didn't leave my hotel until like 10:30. And I just did some work this morning. I just had a slow morning, and that was nice. There was no need to rush, because if I got into town too early, it's like you can't check in till later anyways. So I, had a late start, which I really enjoyed. It was a nice cozy room, so I just milked it. And then I hit the trail. I suited up in all my full rain gear like I have been every day. But then the weather was so nice today. I mean, it was a little bit windy. It was quite windy actually this morning, and it died down later in the day. But there was no rain. I got rained on no times today. That is amazing. And there were some blue skies, which was also really beautiful. So this area is like one of the prettiest parts of the West Highland Way. Michael and I actually had been in this area. This is one of the areas that inspired me to like want to come back. Besides it being a cool sounding trail, I remember when Michael and I drove through here, and there's this famous spot in this area in it's like Glencoe Mountains, where there's a James Bond scene here filmed, and my husband is a big movie buff, and we went there and took the classic photo. I don't think you hike right through that spot, but like we hike around it and near it. And there's also this really famous picturesque, like little white church or home building out here, and winding river in the mountains. And like everyone was taking photographs there. You saw like a bunch of photographers when I walked by. So I remembered all those things from when I was here back in 2023. And it was a beautiful day for it, because you could see all the mountains, and there was like light filtering through the clouds. It just made really, really epic scenery. So the very first like couple 2-ish, 3-ish miles were just like this long straight path from Kingshouse towards what they call the Devil's Staircase. And that felt so long. There was this one mountain to my left and it felt like we were never catching it. Like it was just this long, endless mile road that just went on forever. I didn't feel like I was making any progress, but obviously I was. But then you turn into the mountains and, that's when I started to up the Devil's Staircase. Excuse me. And the Devil's Staircase was, I don't know the stats right off the top of my head, but I just want to say maybe like 1,000 feet of elevation gain, if I had to guess, just based off of like gut feel. It wasn't too bad. For me, just, doing a lot of stuff like this and, having similar gains, where we live in Colorado. But, the hard part for me was like, I've just been having, really tight calves. I think that's just like, I didn't do a great job training for this. I didn't really do any training for this, because I kind of just knew the mileage was in my range, but I think that was a little bit like I should have done a little bit just for my body to like feel a bit less strained, I guess. And I think I have also been not drinking enough water. No, I know I have not been drinking enough water. So I think that's part of it too. And then I just need to stretch more every evening, which I have been doing a bit, but I don't know, today on the uphill, when it got really steep, I could just feel it in my calves. Like my lungs felt fine. I felt like energetic cardio wise, but like my calves were like, this hurts, like on those steep parts. And, I don't know. I just made my way up. I didn't take really any breaks. Just like a couple like stretching my calves out breaks and just powered through it. And mostly today, the miles were pretty much solo. I actually saw a ton of people today. This stretch, like I felt like I was with people the entire time, like bouncing in between different groups, either passing them or then being passed. Like I leapfrogged with a bunch of people, passed a bunch of people, got passed by people. Like it was just this big mix of like lots of people. I don't know why in particular in this section I feel like I saw more. Maybe because my past few days I've actually left a lot earlier, and maybe people typically sleep in, and so this day I caught the like sleep in crowd. I don't know. But yeah, I saw a lot of people, but I just didn't like immediately connect. I was also feeling a little antisocial. There was like one older gentleman that I had met yesterday that we like chatted a few times, just being like, oh, the weather's so nice today. And, he's this little older man that like, he had his classic map, and it was inside a waterproof little necklace around his, neck. And it was super cute. He was really nice. But we just caught up a little bit, and he was really fast on the uphill. Like I went up faster than him, but then he like caught up with me on the downhill. And I was just like, wow, you're really fast. But then he told me he hated the downhill. So I was like, maybe he just wanted to get through it. Anyways, didn't talk to very many people. Mostly I spent the first hour or two just like completely with no music or anything, just listening to my own brain or the sounds of nature. But then I also eventually on the uphill, I turned on some music just to kind of like get me motivated, get me grooving. And eventually I listened to a podcast on my way down, and that's kind of what I did on my way down. I just wanted some like interesting mental stimulation to like think about things and get my brain like focused on other areas. Like sometimes for me when I'm hiking alone, like I like all different aspects of it. Sometimes I just like the quiet just to see what comes up, like be alone with my thoughts, just to hear my surroundings. Sometimes I really love music. It just makes things feel really fun. Like I love a good tune and a pace. Like that's just really enjoyable for me. And then sometimes I like to listen to something to just like help it spark thought and like different ideas. And yeah, and sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook if I have one, but I did download one, but I haven't been interested in starting it for whatever reason, so I haven't really been listening to one on this trip. So I got to the Devil's Staircase, the top of Devil's Staircase, and basically just that from there, it was just a long downhill into Kinlochleven, maybe like 5 miles or something of downhill. And today I just didn't really take breaks again. It was just one of those, just pounding it out. I had gotten an update that my Airbnb person said I could check in whenever, so that sounded nice too. So I just slowly, steadily made my way down into Kinlochleven. It was really interesting. I actually saw quite a few like army groups of, I don't know what they call it, but like army groups here, and they were training, it seemed like, going up what I was coming down. So I passed a few groups like that. And otherwise it was again like just on and off groups of West Highland Way hikers, it seemed like. And then Kinlochleven is this small town, but it was actually like the first proper town I feel like that we've entered in a while. Earlier on in the trip, it felt like we were entering towns more frequently, and then it kind of got a little sparse, like Kingshouse and Bridge of Orkney, like those were all just like really small stops. But made my way into Kinlochleven. It's still small, like don't get me wrong, but there's like more buildings and places. And my little Airbnb is this little cute little thing in this guy's like front yard, side yard, and it's called the Coop, and I recommend it if you're listening. It's cozy, and they did a really good job of just like treating you with a little extra amenities, like there's fresh eggs and bread and butter, and he has thought of a lot of things, apples, I got teas and coffees. Like, I don't know. They're just like little touches that are really nice and quite lovely. And the space is small, but good for 2 people. I'm here by myself, but it's good enough. And yeah, I don't know. I really like it. It's been cozy, and I've kind of just been hiding out here today. I've just felt like being a little bit of a hermit, honestly. And when I got here, I did a little bit of work, and then took a shower. Eventually I went and got a couple more groceries. And when I say groceries, I basically bought a bag of Sour Patch Kids for my hike tomorrow, since it's long. And I also got a tiny little bottle of wine with my dinner. And originally I had booked a reservation. I don't remember what it was, where the restaurant was. But I decided to skip that. And I just feel like I've been doing a lot of pub food, a lot of nights out. And I just wanted a night in, you guys. I just wanted a night in. So the Airbnb host had recommended a Chinese takeaway place. And it is called Rice and Chips, because everything in the UK has chips, a side of chips, French fries with it. So I thought that was funny. And I went there. I got orange chicken. It was good. I'd go there again. I maybe order something different. The orange chicken was a bit it was sweeter than I would like personally. But it wasn't bad. And it was nice to have rice and chicken. That was nice. And then I had it with my little bottle of wine. And now I'm just trying to drink some water. I've been, actually scheduling the first 3 episodes of this Trail Series podcast that I'm recording right now. I've been doing that today. And tonight I'm going to go to bed. I mean, not super early, but soon. It's already 9 p.m. I'm going to bed soon because I'm going to try to wake up a little bit earlier tomorrow. I do have a dinner reservation, at
a place that seems kind of nice, but was like really well known for their seafood. And it's at 5:30, which is so early, but at the same time, it might be nice to eat early and then be back in my hotel room for the rest of the evening. So that was the only time they had available when I looked. And I have a reservation for then, so I kind of want to get my 15 miles started early so that I don't feel like I'm rushing and have time to shower when I check into my hotel. So, yeah, I mean, that's my plan, and it's a little bittersweet that this all is coming to an end, but it's been really fun. Honestly, I've really enjoyed it. It's helped me, like, it's gotten me outside of my comfort zone a little bit in many different ways. Like, it's been forever since I've traveled to a foreign country on my own. It's been a while. I can't remember the last one maybe I did was in Thailand, and that was like maybe back in 2014. So it's been a while on my own international. So it was fun to do that. Also, the eating dinner at restaurants, like in the evening, I do that for lunch and breakfast. Like, that feels like no big deal, but I don't know what it is about dinner. Like, that's definitely outside my comfort zone. Wouldn't say I've mastered it. I just do it and feel awkward. But hey, like, that's the first step in mastering something, is doing it awkwardly. And so I like to think that I'm an example of that. And, you know, I hope that if you feel awkward doing something, it gives you the courage to keep doing that. What else? Hiking solo has felt very in my comfort zone. Otherwise, like the other solo stuff, I mean, the UK is pretty easy to travel in. I would definitely recommend it for, like, if you're looking to stretch yourself and maybe you have never done a solo adventure abroad or something, and you're looking for something to kind of take yourself outside your comfort zone. This has been a lovely trip and really easy, and everyone's pretty friendly, and it's easy to get around, and yeah, I found it quite lovely. But yeah, that's all that's on my mind this evening, you guys. I'm just gonna get ready to go to bed, and I'll come back tomorrow with some final West Highland Way adventures and thoughts. And I hope you've been loving this series, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.
Hey, I wanted to thank you real quick for tuning into the show and listening all the way to the end. If you love this episode and you want deeper support in becoming a safe, confident, and self-sufficient hiker and backpacker, then head over to shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist to learn more about our Backpacking Badass coaching program, where I teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be self-reliant on the trails and stop waiting around on others for the adventure invite. So I'd love to help you more in your journey of stepping into your adventurous identity, and that program is the absolute best place for us to start working together. So again, that's shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist, and you can learn all about it there. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you get to spend some time outside this week, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new episode. Bye.